Welcome to the Aircraft Center for Earth Studies at the University of Miami. We have a lot of aircraft of all different shapes and sizes. My specialty is in mapping things underwater from aircraft over really large areas. We've only mapped about 5% of the seafloor at the same resolution as we have on land, but underwater it's just completely the Wild West. My name is Ved Chirayath, and I'm the Vetlison Professor of Earth Sciences and Director of the Aircraft Center for Earth Studies at the University of Miami. I grew up in Southern California, Los Angeles. I wanted to look for life and reach out and touch the stars and see if we were alone. This culminated in high school with me living on a mountain for 3 years, building my own telescopes and instruments, and I actually detected a new extrasolar planet about 150 light years away. And I went all the way down the path of astrophysics and trying to look for life in the universe, realizing that we barely understand life on Earth in its entirety. So around the time of my PhD, I shifted all of the space exploration technologies I was developing to look up in space, to instead point down at what is actually what I think the final frontier, which is the ocean. 99% of the habitable volume of our planet is in the water, and we are barely scratching the surface of what's there right now. Half of the breaths we take in this conversation are generated in the sea. It's our life support system. We can do these extraordinary things in space exploration, but the reality is that the threats from space are not as immediate as the threats from a hurricane or a waterspout coming off of the ocean. I mean, the drugs to treat COVID came out of a reef species, and it had that one organism not evolved that one ability to fend off a disease it never is exposed to, we may not be here. This is one of the sensors that I invented at NASA. I created a technology called fluid lensing. This is the issue when we look at the water from aircraft or from space. There's lots of reflection as well as refractive distortions from waves. And that limits our ability to see the seafloor. This technology is the first that can see through that at the sub-centimeter scale in 3D. So we can create really detailed maps of the seafloor. In this case, this is a coral reef in American Samoa. Florida's barrier reef is the 4th largest in the world. And it is a great shield that just naturally grows along our coastline. But if we lose that, right, we lose out on tourism revenue, right? We lose out on fishing. We lose out on potential cures for diseases. We lose out on protection for all of the homes that are here and coastlines. So it's, for me, most very important to study. Miami, for better or for worse, is at ground zero, literally, right? And sea levels are changing. It's not a question for the future. I want every young kid and space explorer out there to turn their eyes to the ocean and realize this is the final frontier. This is where space is at. I don't think of a single person that does not use mapping day to day to get around in this world. We have mapped 30% maximum of a planet that we live on. So just imagine what it would be to explore the rest of the 70%, to know what is there, to figure out what is changing. That's like getting a whole new world for free.